Alrighty, this video today is going to go over percent composition. So what is percent composition? Our definition for today is that percent composition is just the percent by mass of each element in a compound. So of course we're looking at percent for percent composition, and it's looking at how much of each element is in a compound. So for instance, if we're looking at CO2, how much carbon is in CO2 versus how much oxygen is in CO2. Okay. An easy trick for these types of problems is your final answer is always going to add up to 100%. It's an easy way to check your work. If after you finish a problem, you add up all your answers, they're going to be pretty dang close to 100. You might have 100.01, 99.99. As long as you're somewhere close to 100 and really close, you're most likely going to be right here. Our formula for finding percent composition is we're going to do the mass of the element divided by the molar mass of the compound times 100. So we're looking at the mass of the element. We're of course going to find that on our periodic table by looking at our atomic mass. Our molar mass of compound, we again know how to find that by looking at our atomic masses on the periodic table and adding those together for the compound. Dividing out those numbers and multiplying by 100, of course, because we're going to be dealing with percents. So let's just jump in and try a problem. So what is the percent composition of each element in Cu2S? Alrighty, so I have a bigger screen here so that we can go over some of the problems. So our first step here is we need to find the molar mass of each of the elements as well as the mass of the compound. And again, we're dealing with copper 2 sulfide, which is copper 1 sulfide. Okay, remember it's copper 1 because we get our charge from copper here, and since there's nothing there, we assume it is a 1. Okay, so my molar mass of copper, according to my periodic table, is 63.55 grams per mole. Okay, but we are going to multiply that by 2 because we have those 2 copies of copper. And when I multiply that by 2, I'm going to get 127.1 grams per mole as my molar mass of my copper 2. Okay, I'm also going to add in my molar mass of sulfur, which is an easy one. If I look at my periodic table, my molar mass of sulfur, atomic number 16, is 32.07 grams per mole. I'm going to add those together to find my molar mass, and my molar mass here when I add those together is going to be 159.2 grams per mole. And if we think back to the problem asks us to find the molar mass or the percent composition of each of the molecules. So let's just start with copper. So if I'm doing copper first, according to my formula, I'm going to put my mass of the element on top. And my mass of copper we found to be 127.1 grams per mole. And then my mass of the compound on the bottom, my mass of the compound is right here. So 159.2. We're going to multiply that by 100. Not too crazy of math. And you're going to get something around 79.85%. And that is my percent of copper. Okay. I'm going to do the same exact thing for sulfur. So I'm going to put my mass of sulfur on the top, 32.07 divided by 159.2 times 100. When I do that math, I'm going to get 29.2%. Oh, sorry, I'm writing the wrong answer. I'm going to get 20.015. 15% sulfur. Okay, and I know you're thinking, oh, I didn't even have to do this step. I could have just taken this and subtracted from 100 to get this. That is correct. However, I want to make sure that you're doing both of these steps and then checking your answer versus using that little cheat of it always equal 100% to do the work for you. Okay, if you use the cheat code, it might mess you up in the long run, but you can always use that 100% rule to add these up, ensure they equal 100 to make sure your answer is correct. So let's go back to our PowerPoint here and look at another practice problem. Okay, so what is the percent composition of carbon and nitrogen in NH4-2CO3? So we're looking at ammonium carbonate. So go ahead and pause the video and I'll let you work on this one with a partner. So find someone that's around the same area in the video as you and go ahead and give this problem a try. Alrighty, and here are our answers. So our percent mass of carbon in this is 12.5%, and our percent mass of nitrogen is going to be 29.2. So you might be asking yourself, those don't equal 100%. And the answer to that question is, of course they don't, because we only found the mass percents of carbon and nitrogen. We didn't find the mass percents of hydrogen and oxygen, which are also prevalent in ammonium carbonate. Okay, you have 2 more problems here to do on your own. So what I'm going to have you do is work on those things by yourself, and then so go ahead and pause the video really quick. And here are those answers. So hopefully you did well on those. If you notice you're still struggling on percent composition, please check out the other video I've posted as well. But these should go pretty hand in hand with your notes here. So go ahead and watch this video. If you have additional questions, feel free to email me or check in with me in class. Otherwise, have a lovely day.